What meanest thou, O sleeper? Arise, call upon thy God. I'm just fascinated by the things that I see in these scriptures when I see God dealing with humanity. Because you see, that's what happens all around us. And many times we're just totally unaware that God is speaking, that God is working and moving in a person's life. And that person can oftentimes just be oblivious to it. But God has a plan for all of our lives, and He wants our attention. So this is the captain of the ship who's made these words to Jonah. And he says, call upon your God. So because perhaps your God is the one that's causing all of this turmoil and all this wind and all this tempest. And so they cast lots among all of those who are on the ship to see whose God it was. And it came up to Jonah. And they said to Jonah, they says, why? And Jonah told them, he says, I'm fleeing from the presence of God. I've had enough. I've been disappointed. And I'm just running. Well, all kinds of things begins to take place here. Ways to try to fix the problems. And again, this always fascinates me when I see this in humanity, including myself. Trying to come up with all kinds of remedies to try to correct an incorrect situation because of my own disobedience, of my own rebellion, and I'm just not talking to just me. We've just gone away from the hand of God, from the voice of God, and God's not pleased. And we're trying to find ways to be able to slip around it. The last thing that Jonah wanted to do was to repent and call out to God and ask God to forgive him of his sin and his rebellion against God. And so when it finally comes to the point to where they say to him, this is, what are we going to do? And Jonah said, just throw me overboard. Just cast me out into the sea. And that's just amazing to me. Because in essence, what Jonah is saying, he says, I'd rather die than repent. I would rather you throw me out into the deep and I drown than to have to get on my face and cry out to God and ask God to forgive me of my rebellious heart. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I've known people like that. And perhaps maybe you do too. And it could possibly be that you're that person. But I'm going to tell you something. It's a dangerous state of heart and mind to be in. Because my God, the God that I serve, is faithful to forgive. This is Pastor Jack King with a gospel on the radio broadcast.